trying to do something different
by batting first after winning the toss. So I think it is an opportunity where Afghanistan might just have to bowl in the dew. This is an opportunity for the UAE side as well to perform better. And I like the two changes that they've made in the side. Akif comes into the side. He's a very good bowler, was in very good form recently in the concluded ILT20. So yeah, I think good changes for them in the 11 as well.
Well, there you have it. You've got the two openers there, Zazai and Gurbaz. Young man from Afghanistan. He's got some impressive figures there. He really is, takes the attack to the bowlers. Junaid there with that white ball in his hand is going to be starting the proceedings for them as the umpire has announced as we resume play. Nicely tucked into the leg side. The wicket looks similar to the game one. However, I would say it's probably less green compared to game number one. What do you think? How do you think the game is going to pan out?
Well, I think at the pitch report you were talking about as well. As a batter, you would look for the delivery that would nip just a little bit.
We've got here we are. Junaid now he's gonna be up against Gurbaz. Young man, he's been involved in a few different leagues around the world. He played in the T10 and was also part of the ILT20 earlier this month. Little bit of swing there for the bowlers, as expected. We saw a little bit of movement on day one and a bit more of the same. And I think the coaches will be encouraging the fast bowlers to pitch the ball up and really try and see if they can extract some movement out of the pitch. Afghanistan very relaxed. They're of course 1-0 up in the series. Again, a little bit of swing. Raja in your screen brought into the team. As you look, that's Gurbaz shuffling down the pitch, trying to put the bowlers off his mark. Two slips in, which is encouraging to see. Faizan.
Oh, nicely played. Beautifully. Cracker of a shot. And the first boundary on the board. This is how he plays, Gurbaz, doesn't he? A beautiful player when in rhythm. Hits through the line, hits against the line, and, you know, he can hit some great shots just like that. Brilliant player. Hasn't been in some great form in the recently concluded ILT20 and before that, the Abu Dhabi T10.
Yes, an absolute gift for Gurbaz. He's not going to miss out on that. Really does settle the nerves of the batsman when you get a boundary earlier on in your innings. That's better. Gurbaz will hustle to see if he can get two there. I think it's important for the bowlers to make sure you bowl wicket to wicket on this pitch, because if there's any movement to be extracted, I think the seamers will get it out of this pitch.
Absolutely, spot on. And in the ILT20 as well, this is exactly what was happening. The wicket was very good for the bowlers, but if you can stay some time on the wicket, you could get runs out of it. And that is what we saw in the games that happened here in Abu Dhabi. We got a 180 plus game, we got a 175 plus game, and both were chased down. But you need to give yourself that time on the wicket to get used to the pace and bounce of the wicket. Also, it is a comparatively bouncier wicket as compared to maybe a Dubai or a Sharjah wicket. It's 1 over gone, 6 without loss of Afghanistan.
Well, they're the two teams. A couple of changes for the UAE team. Ali Shan and Raja Akif Allah coming in. And just the one change, Farid Ahmed for Afghanistan. Well, here he is. One of the changes. Got an opportunity to shine with the ball. First up, while the ball is practically brand new. And he'll be up against Gurbaz. Real dangerous young man with the bat in his hand.
Akif Raja had a brilliant time at the DP World T20. He took 9 wickets in the 10 games that he played. And he was very economical as well. Brilliant line and length bowler. Can use the change of pace as well. He's one of the players to look forward to in the UAE setup.
Well, let's see what he does as he's itching to get going in this second T20. Good start.
Ball's line and length, doesn't give time to the batter. Is not expressed fast, but he knows his craft. He has control over the ball, and that is what I like about this young boy, Raja Akifullah.
I guess it's a kind of bowler I think is probably tailor-made for this pitch. Little bit of grass, so if you pitch it up, and if you just land it on the seam, you've got a good chance of just moving it, and might even entice the odd edge.
Play it to the third man, only a single. Can think of a 2 with Zazai on the crease. I don't think that's going to happen. Just a single here. So talking about Akif once again, he's predominantly a bowler that brings the ball into the right-handers. But there will be 1 or 2 deliveries that will move slightly away, and that is the dangerous delivery for Raja Akif. This is where he's picked up a lot of wickets in the DP World T20 as well, and one of the top 5 wicket takers in the tournament as well.
Well, he's now up against the left-handed Zazai. So like you mentioned, the ball going into the right-hander, which is his stock ball. So now it's going to be going across the left-hander. So the slip is definitely into play here. Banged in to the body. Scampered through for a single. I like him. I'm impressed.
Well, yeah, certainly, as I mentioned before as well, he's one of the players to look forward to in the future of UAE cricket. Into the setup, it's great to see him getting a game today. There are some very, very good players in the side. Junaid Siddiqui being one of them. Brilliant bowler, knows his craft. Zahoor Khan can bowl 6 Yorkers on a trot. So some brilliant bowling in the UAE camp. It's the batting that struggles just a little bit for me.
Nicely tucked down to third man. Trying to give himself a little bit of room, Gurbaz. Trying to take the attack to the UAE bowlers. It will be interesting how Afghanistan go about their batting with the opportunity to bat first in the game. We saw UAE bat first in game number 1, and they had a kind of approach which was very calculated. They didn't go gung-ho, they didn't try and smash the ball everywhere. So I'm quite interested to see how Afghanistan go about things when the conditions are in favour of the bowler.
I think it's just one way, Wes, that these players know how to play. Zazai and Gurbaz, they just go slam bang right from the word go. Zazai hasn't been in the best of nicks. Gurbaz hasn't made a lot of runs, and that is one problem for Afghanistan top of the order. So I think they must have been given the license here to play their natural game, to get some runs and get that confidence going, which is lacking, especially for Zazai after that knock of 162 not out that he played 1.5 years back. That was a brilliant knock. But after that, there haven't been all that many runs from Zazai, be it the Abu Dhabi T10 or the T20 as well.
Final delivery of the second over. Tries to muster something, Zazai. Here they are, the broadcast and streaming partners all over the world. UK BT Sports, that's my home. Junaid into the attack. Oh, nice and full, but you're not going to get that, young man.
Beauty. That was a beautiful Yorker, and this is what Junaid can do. He can surprise you with some good pace, some good Yorkers as well. And that is why I said what I said before, that they have a very good bowling side. It's the batting that struggles for the UAE. And if they come into their own, look at that. Beautifully bowled. Almost a perfect Yorker there. Nicely done, Junaid.
Yeah, it's really, really good delivery. That swung back into the left-hander. Always does trouble you as a batsman. The ball swings back in. Again, a little bit of shape back into the batsman. No room on offer. Good bowling here by Junaid.
Good start, in fact, by the UAE bowlers here. Into the third over, just 11 on the board. With Gurbaz and Zai on the crease, I think that's a victory in itself for the bowlers here. But still early days, a lot of overs to come in the power play overs as well. 3 more remaining after this. And I feel that Gurbaz is going to try and kick on from here.
This time, gives himself some room and a welcome boundary for the Afghanistan boys.
Nicely played, but a poor ball coming in from Junaid. Outside the off stump, short and wide. Easy peasy for the batter there. And Gurbaz can play those shots beautifully. Right from the meat of the bat. Look at that again. Just back of the length, moving away, making more room and freeing his arms. Nicely done.
Yeah, just look at that focus. He's a real treat to watch when he gets going. Ramanullah Gurbaz. We do have a change in the field. Third man's been brought up, and that man far left of your screen has been pushed out. This time swatted down the ground. Back-to-back boundaries.
This is how he plays. You just can't hold him back for a long, long time. Gurbaz, beautiful. Rocking onto the back foot. It was more like a tennis shot here coming in from Gurbaz. Nicely played, but room again from Junaid. It's not great bowling from him.
Yeah, they'll really need to tighten up here, Junaid. He needs to go back to line and length, but more wicket to wicket. Can't afford to give someone like Gurbaz any room. He will really capitalise on that. So pressure firmly back on Mohammad Junaid. Attempted Yorker. Nevertheless, a dead ball, a dot ball, sorry. It's really must be a difficult job to bowl against the likes of Gurbaz and Zazai. They're well known and renowned openers in the world. To really take on the bowlers, it really must require nerves of steel, I feel, to be able to open the bowling against these two.
Absolutely spot on. Gurbaz particularly is very dangerous in the power play overs.
This time, up and over, there might be an opportunity for a catch, and that's the end of Ramanullah Gurbaz, much to the delight of Junaid and the UAE boys.
Well, it had to happen because Gurbaz was looking forward to hit some big shots. He wasn't able to. This is not an easy wicket to bat on. Slicing one off, and to the fielder that was posted for that particular shot. And one of the best fielders in the UAE setup as well, Basil Hamid, taking a nice catch. It was high up in the air. And sometimes those are very difficult to take, Wes.
Yes, they are. Basil kept his eyes firmly on the ball. And a very delighted Junaid. And so you should be, young man. That's a big wicket as he goes back for 15 and Afghanistan are 19 for 1 at the end of 3 overs. So Ibrahim Zadran walks to the wicket. Decent stats there. Faizan, what do you make of him?
One of the finest players in the Afghanistan team right now currently. That reminds me somewhat of Virat Kohli. Maybe too early into the comparison here, but the way he uses his wrists to hit those cover drives, that's beautiful to watch. Takes his time, settles in, and once he gets going, in the Asia Cup that happened last year, he was brilliant.
This time, Raja Akif is going to continue. He's on the money, Raja. Nicely brings that ball back into the left-hander. Like I mentioned earlier, I've been impressed with Raja Akif. He's a smart bowler.
And this one came in just a little bit. And this is what he can do. He can produce that one delivery that goes away from the right-hander or comes into the left-hander in this case. And Zazai again is one of those players who's a little iffy on the outside the off stump.
This time trying to access the leg side. And he manages to get it down to his deep square leg for a single. Looks like Zazai's had enough and he's going to try and get after Raja Akif. And it's probably the challenge that Raja is probably happy with while the ball is moving around. Anyway, this brings Zadran now on strike. And I've got a feeling the slip is going to make a little play here.
But it might just, with Akif bowling into the right-hander, will definitely bring one out if Ibrahim stays on strike.
Oh, try to be greedy. Try to pitch it leg and hit off. He's got to keep his composure, Raja Akif. Just got that wrist wrong side of the ball. We'll have a quick look here. Here we go, look. Just got that wrist a little bit leg side. That's better. Although, smart batting and smart running between the wickets. Well done, you two. I like that.
Yeah, Ibrahim Zadran will do that in the Asia Cup that I was mentioning that happened last year in the UAE itself. He played a very, very good knock of 60 odd against India. And that was a great knock. He took some time getting going, but when he started to go, he was going big. He was hitting all around the park, and just like Virat Kohli, he takes care of his fitness a lot. He is very good on the offside. He can flick a few good ones towards square leg as well. So a complete player. It's just the opportunity and the exposure that he needs a little bit more.
Nice bowling. Very, very tight into the body of Zazai, not allowing him any room at all. Seem like UAE have gone away and have really done their homework on these batsmen. You watch. Back into the body of Zazai, not allowing him to free his arms.
And that was the shot of a man not in form. And that was a nothing shot. He's calling for a bat here now, Hazratullah Zazai. And I have a feeling, Wes, that something's got to give when it comes to Zazai here.
Yeah, well, those dot balls do mount up. Yeah, on the money. He's impressive, Raja Akif, as he gets yet another dot ball in. 2 dot balls already in this over. Dot balls are like gold dust, Faizan, in T20 cricket.
Always, absolutely. Building up the pressure here. Making them do something. Making them manufacture shots. Because they aren't able to hit this through the line or in the gaps. Only 2 boundaries till now for Afghanistan. Both of them coming in from Rahmanullah Gurbaz, who's back to the pavilion. So pressure, especially on Zazai here.
Oh, great change up. Little slow ball to finish as Afghanistan moved to 23 for 1 at the end of 4 overs.
This is how it has panned out till now in the first 4 overs. Rahmanullah Gurbaz on 15 of 11 deliveries, caught by Basel, bowled by Junaid, the only wicket to have gone down. Zazai has struggled in the middle. He's taken 10 deliveries for 6 runs. And Ibrahim Zadran has just come in and is the player to look forward to in this Afghanistan lineup.
It looks like we've got another change of bowling. Zahoor coming on to bowl. He's going to be operating from the pavilion end. Average is just under 20, which is pretty impressive in T20 cricket. With an economy rate of 6.70, he really is a class act. And what's impressive about Zahoor is the fact that he can bowl with a new ball and he possesses a mean Yorker. So that means they will probably use him at the end of the innings.
There's one player that Zahoor Khan reminds me of, and again a comparison from Team India, Jasprit Bumrah. He's a very difficult bowler to get away, Zahoor, just like Bumrah is. Bowl those difficult lines and lengths, one will come in, the other one will leave the batter. He can bowl 6 Yorkers out of 6 deliveries. One of my favorite players in the domestic setup here in the UAE. Brilliant to watch. And pacey as well.
Well, Zazai pushes that one through the offside. They'll hustle back for 2. Smart running. Really, really good running that. Ran the first 2 really hard, which means they got back for the 3rd. That will really help Zazai. That is for sure.
First one from Zazai that came off the middle of the bat, and he took the first run very carefully. Normally not a very good runner between the wickets. He called for it. So well done, Hazratullah Zazai.
Oh yeah, well, they've all gone up, and thank you very much. That is the end of Zadran.
Very, very good delivery outside the off stump to a new batter who's just come out, the feet not going anywhere and taking the slightest of edges. Look at that. This is the one I was talking about. He can take one away from the right handle. Look at that, holding its line. A drive coming in from the batter on the up. And on this wicket, it is always a difficult shot to play. Good work, Zahoor Khan. Good work, UAE. Afghanistan reeling under pressure just a little bit. 26 for 2 as Ibrahim Zadran goes for only 1 of 4.
Well, there you go, 26 for 2. And Faizan, I don't think the batting has been that easy out there. The ball is doing its thing, as expected.
Yeah, you mentioned that at the pitch report. You said it's going to jag around just a little bit. The batter should be beware of the fact that the ball is going to move. And it has, certainly. So well read, Wes.
Thank you, Faizan. Thank you. I do try, mate. Anyway, Zahoor is going to continue. Getting a wicket with only his 2nd delivery. On the money. Like I mentioned earlier, it'd be interesting to see how Afghanistan go about their batting. Batting at this time of the evening, the twilight period. The ball does do a little bit. So they certainly do have their work cut out. Have another look at the wicket. It's in the channel. And slightly overbalances the batsman. Played it on the walk, and Zahoor very, very happy with that. Like you mentioned, he's a dangerous player. They were really glad to see the back of him.
Nicely played by Afsar. A defensive push coming in from him. What a knock yesterday Afsar and Karim Jannat played. It was beautiful to see him bat, the way he came out, all guns blazing, took the attack to the opposition, changed the game around completely. At one point, with 3 wickets down, they were under pressure yesterday in the last T20 international, eventually winning it easily in the end with that partnership of Afsar and Karim Jannat. Karim Jannat, mind you, yet to come.
Well bowled. Very, very well bowled, Zahoor Khan. UAE really looking like they mean business out there.
It seems like the confidence of the bowlers is high. They have made some good changes in the side, 2 of them. Raja Akif already made an impact in the first 2 overs that he's bowled. Given away just 8 runs without picking up a wicket. Zahoor has picked up 1 in his very first over. So things looking very good. It's a very seeded start for Afghanistan. Normally not the case for them. If Gurbaz and Zazai, they open the innings together, and they hit some beautiful deliveries out of the park in the first 6. Not today.
Another absolute beauty in the corridor. Well, that's the end of 5 overs as Afghanistan move on to 26 for 2.
After 5 overs, Afghanistan just find themselves in a spot of bother. They lost 2 quick wickets, and they'll have to just get into some kind of resurrection. Our broadcast and streaming partners on your screen, and you can view this match live in your drawing rooms. Well, just as I talk about the bowling performance of UAE, the gentleman sitting beside me seems to be very excited and happy. Former captain of UAE, Ahmed Raza.
Really exciting start for UAE bowlers. They've been right at the money. And as our fellow colleague always mentioned, this is the hardest time to bat, the twilight. But the UAE bowlers have been right on the money. Really happy to see Raja Akif bowling his 3rd over. A ploy which most captains don't go for it, where a bowler bowls 3 overs on the trot. But he's bowled well. He's quicker than you think. Hits the bat hard. Skiddy action. Been really impressive today.
Former captain giving the nod of approval. And I'll tell you what, the concern with the Afghanistan batters is that last evening as well, while they were chasing, in the 3rd over, they were 26 for 2. And yet again today, the top batters put the team in a situation where they are 22 for 2. So that is something they need to work on. The top order seems to be betraying the plans.
The top order has been struggling for the Afghanistan, especially Hazratullah Zazai. Clear struggles, has to find form.
This time width offered, and that's been put away nicely for a 4. Behind backward of square. Wonderful shot. That'll really help ease the nerves in the dugout as well. Fine shot from Zazai.
That's a freebie from Raja Akif. He's bowled so well to Zazai up to this point. Offers width, and Zazai cashes on it.
You can't be bowling there, particularly to a batter who's so severe on loose deliveries. And this would really help his confidence as well. But the wicket, the surface, slightly different from yesterday, Ahmed.
We've moved to the left of the square, a fresh wicket. There's still enough for the fast bowlers in it. Even in the first T20I, apart from Rashid Khan, there was not even a single wicket falling to a spinner. So fast bowlers have enjoyed bowling on this square. So far, Junaid picking up a wicket. Zahoor Khan coming into the attack, picking up a wicket. Raja Akif has looked threatening. It'll be interesting how they close out the power play.
There could be a shy at the stumps, a throw at the non-striker's end, but they'll get a comfortable single. That should be the highlight of any team's innings. Strike rotation.
Really important when the boundaries are hard to come by. I think the strike rotation becomes even more critical.
Three bowlers used, Junaid, Akif and Zahoor, all of them impressive. Two amongst the wickets as well. Zahoor a wicket in his first over. And Junaid, 1 for 15 for him. What do you have to make of these three bowlers at the start, Ahmed?
Very impressive. Clear, simple plan, bowling the right channel, using the help which is there on the wicket, letting the white kookaburra do the talking.
Fuller this time wrapped on the pads. Was that straying down leg?
Looked like going down. He does that. He hurries the batter up. I think it did slightly bit too much. Zazai yet to get off the mark. Hero from the first T20I.
Right. Once again, you could see that ball just angling towards the leg side. Not a bad toss to lose, to be very honest, for UAE. That's simply because you can look at the wind as well. It's quite windy, a gale of breeze blowing across the twilight zone. The surface has some kind of juice in it. Perfect conditions for a seamer.
Finally gets off the mark. Afsar. Yeah, very challenging conditions to be batting first. Also keeping the dew in mind. I think Afghanistan wanted to challenge themselves to post a total and then defend it later with the wet ball.
Yes, I did speak with Rashid at the toss as well. He said this is part of our preparation plans. We want to see how our bowlers respond in dew conditions. But the onus now lies on the batters to get them somewhere close to 160, 170. As that's what he said he's eyeing as a team.
It will be a top effort to get to 160 from here on, the kind of start Afghanistan has.
Once again, just straying down leg. We'll get a single. 7 runs coming off this over. After power play overs, it's 34 for 2. Never short of support is the Afghanistan team, and they enjoy their cricket, and quite certainly they are enjoying every bit of what they're seeing as well at the Zayed Cricket Stadium here in Abu Dhabi. It's the second T20 International. Afghanistan have taken a 1-0 lead and on the brink of making it 2-0 and also clinching the series, but ahead of them is UAE.
Zahoor Khan bowling his second over from the pavilion end. That's another dot ball. Slight width given, as I couldn't cash in. CP Rizwan has got different options as well. There's Zawar Farid, who's yet to bowl, another medium pacer, brings the ball back into the right-hander. And he's got Ayan Khan, the left-arm spinner, Rohan Mustafa, the off-spinner, Basil Hamid, the off-spinner. CP Rizwan's got enough and more options.
That's a good point you brought up. That's because last evening, in fact a day earlier, he used 8 bowlers in that defense of his. That goes to show that he does have a lot in that basket.
I wouldn't be surprised if Zawar Farid comes from the top end and bowls now. With the amount of help the fast bowlers has got so far, he might be tempted to get Rohan Mustafa into the game as well, with Hazratullah being the left-hand batter. Beg your pardon.
Oh yes, he did go for runs in that one over that changed and shifted the momentum in favour of Afghanistan. But of course, he is an experienced campaigner, Rohan Mustafa, and you'd always want to back him.
Yeah, complete match winner, Rohan Mustafa. And a very smart bowler. Bowls very straight, wicket to wicket. Doesn't need a lot of support from the pitch.
There again, just trying to play it down third. Zazai has struggled for timing in the series yet again. He's just not been able to find the free-flowing, aggressive batting style of his.
So impressive from the fielders as well, not letting Hazratullah get off the strike. That's really impressive by UAE fielders. That's another dot ball. They are gold dust in this format.
Now that's the former captain talking in the comm box. Don't allow a single, keep him on strike. We don't want to give him easy runs, says Ahmed Raza. Nicely bowled, another quick single, good calling, good coordination. Just planned to run on the overthrow, but
Very good backing up by Alishan Sharifu coming into the squad today. Good backing up, saved one run. And all these runs in the end, they're so crucial. Zahoor Khan has been impressive yet again into his second over. Only gone for 4 runs. Rohan Mustafa with the shy at the stump. And then quickly realizing there wasn't any backup. Alishan Sharifu did well at long on.
mid on, mid off, up in the circle. There's a deep square leg, cover sweeper. And a slip in place, good to see. Zahoor had 2 edges going the other day. Wonderful move by skipper Rizwan. Oh, that's gone in the air, but that'll land in safe region, and that's going towards backward of point. Very poor effort in the field, very poor effort, and that will not impress the captain and the bowler as well.
It's very poor from the senior fast bowler Junaid Siddiqui. You have to help your mate out, especially with the kind of pressure the bowlers have been putting. You need your support in the field, especially your fellow fast bowler. They don't like going for boundaries like that.
You induce an edge, and by the end of it you give a 4, and that's what's heartbreaking for a bowler. That's where you expect the fielders to step up and just back the bowlers in the middle. Quite rightly so, Ahmed.
Excellent ball to finish the over. Afghanistan 39 for 2 at the end of 7 overs.
Just as we were discussing, as Ahmed pointed out in the last over, time to bring in Rohan Mustafa. Looks like CP Rizwan as well thinks the same. He's into the attack.
Good to see Rohan Mustafa coming into the attack early. Those are great numbers. Highest wicket taker in this format for UAE. Also looking at the economy, under 7 balls at the death as well.
It's a spread out field. You have a long on, a deep mid wicket, a long off, a cover sweeper, and a deep square leg as well. In fact, the lefty is on strike. Nicely bowled, quicker through the air.
Very good start. Keep an eye on the clock. He's going to finish his over in 2 minutes. That's his quality. Doesn't give time.
Nicely fielded. Raise the bar in the middle, say the fielders of UAE. And this is the spark they need.
It's Mohammad Wasim for you. The all-round. He does it in the field as well.
This time he punches it down the ground towards long off for a single.
UAE bowlers wouldn't mind that. Get 2 dot balls. Get him off strike. It'll be interesting to see how the right-handed will go about his business. Because if he is hitting downtown, he's hitting it into the breeze. This is something which CP Rizwan has learned from the other day. And it's good to see Rohan Mustafa bowling from the top end with breeze behind him.
Nicely bowled again, keeping it straight. I'll tell you what, Afzal Zazai last evening got 48 and 40, bailed his team out of trouble. Quicker again. And he's really rushing through his overs, Ahmed.
As you always get from Rohan Mustafa, finishes his over under 2 minutes. Hit it to sweep a point. And that's just 2 runs off that over. Great start for Rohan Mustafa. Afghanistan 41 for 2 at the end of 8 overs.
Afghanistan, after winning the toss, are 41 for 2 after 8. I need your perspective here, Ahmed. How has the wicket played since the last wicket we played in the first T20 International? And what does this also mean about UAE's bowling performance to have them at 41 for 2?
The wicket has definitely helped the UAE bowlers. In the meanwhile, Zawar Farid into the attack. As we were just discussing a while ago, he's another option which CP Rizwan has bowled just a solitary over in the first T20I. But can't take any credit away from UAE bowlers. They bowled brilliantly.
Driven handsomely and beautifully fielded as well. Raja there put in the dive. That was travelling. That was firmly struck. He keeps it to a single.
That's the kind of support you need from your fielders. Bowling half a bad ball, but with the support of your field, if you can save that boundary, just saving easy 3 runs over there. Zawar Farid will have to hit his mark. There's enough in the wicket for the faster bowlers. The quicker he gets to that length, it will be easy for CP Rizwan to rotate the other bowlers from the far end.
Half-hearted appeal. Was pitching outside of leg. Was always going to be an easy call for the umpire there.
Bowlers are never happy with that. Clearly pitching outside leg stump. Zawar Farid got a little excited there.
Typical bowler, right? Anybody would want to just go up there. His second delivery of his spell, and he's wrapped the batter on the pads. Why not give it a try?
Mid-off in the ring. Cannot bowl too full to Afsar.
Shuffles in the crease, looks to give that swivel. Just about manages to hit behind, backward or square leg. And they'll settle for a single. Very good fielding in the deep as well.
Junaid Siddiqui coming back into the game now. He's got a bullet arm. He just needs to get to that ball quicker, where he can show his bullet arm which he possesses.
Ahmed, sometimes senior fast bowlers get away with those small little slip-ups in the boundary line.
They do, but let me tell you, Zahoor Khan is going to remind him about that misfield for probably another year.
But this has been a brilliant bowling effort. Ahmed must be really delighted.
Yeah, the most pleasing part of this effort so far is that they've bowled in partnerships.
Just make some room. Another single towards deep point. Rohan Mustafa there with the fielding. Oh, this is ordinary stuff. They need to keep things tight. They've kept it so far. They can't let things just go out of control.
Cannot lower your guard against a team like Afghanistan. If you have them under the pump, keep nailing them. That was an average effort. Rohan Mustafa in the deep with that throw.
That was a poor throw. Backing up was equally mediocre as well. Just about clips it towards mid-wicket, running the first run fast. They'll have to settle for a single. So it's been another quiet over here for Afghanistan.
Very good period for UAE bowlers. It will be important for Zawar Farid to close out this over without any damage. UAE bowlers right on top here. Afghan batters are struggling to find the timing on this wicket, which I feel has been slightly too paced as well.
Oh yes, but interestingly, what you did mention about the pacers, the bowlers of UAE, that they've complemented each other. They've also bowled in the right channels, Ahmed, this evening, which has really been helpful for them. Gives the charge, throws everything at it, has played it towards long on, and will have to settle for a single. 7 runs off the 9th over. It's 48 for 2. So far, Afghanistan have just not been able to find the big hits, and that's been the concern. They won the toss, decided to bat first. They have a target in mind, but UAE have been up to the task. Just as I say that, that's a wide down the leg.
Tried his quicker ball, Rohan Mustafa. I don't really think you need to try a lot here. Just keep it simple. That's been working for you.
So right now runs coming in the form of singles, and UAE will not be disturbed at all. They have done a superb job in the field with the ball. It looks like they're a different side this evening.
That's 50 for Afghanistan. Coming into the 10th over. A sedate start. And with Sazai struggling at the crease.
Taken on the full for a batter who has a T20 strike rate of close to 140. He's been batting in the series inside of 100. That can easily be a concern as well, because Afghanistan largely depends on how Sazai turns up for them each time.
Yeah, he's been a mainstay for the Afghanistan cricket team and has provided some really good starts to them.
Another single towards backward of point. And I'll tell you what, this partnership may be just stabilizing and steadying the ship, but it's consuming quite a few dot deliveries as well.
That's going to put a lot of pressure to the lower down batters, Kareem Jannat, Najibullah Zadran, because then you have to get go from the right first ball you face, and that's not going to be easy on this wicket.
There again, just not able to middle it, just not able to time it. That kind of an innings once again for Sazai, where he's trying hard.
So very important for Afsar to make sure that he finds the boundary. In the meanwhile, Sazai can find some form in the middle.
Oh, this could be close. This could be suicidal. Shy of the stumps, he misses it. Zazai was nowhere in the frame, and he survives. All happening here. Pressure mounting on Afghanistan. Desperation in the middle.
That can happen. That can happen if you're not getting the boundaries away. Ritya did really well. Did everything right apart from hitting the stumps. Would have been curtains for Zazai.
He survives, and in the process he finds the boundary as well to end the over. What a shot. Again, it got the toe end of the bat, but he went through with a shot. That's a wonderful hit. After the half-pace stage, it's 58 for 2.
Well, this is the batting scorecard here. Rahmanullah Gurbaz, the first wicket to have gone down. Since then, Hazratullah Zazai and Afsar Zazai are having a partnership, and they are looking good right now. In the last 2-3 overs, they've started to score some runs here. It's 58 for 2 after 10. That is the score right now. In the last game, yesterday, UAE was batting first, and they were at a similar situation, and they eventually could get to only 142. What do you reckon here from Shoaib? What score would be Afghanistan looking at?
Well, they definitely have the intent and the aggression to get to a good total, because that is a cracking shot from the bat of Afsar. He was phenomenal yesterday, and he's continuing that good form in today's game as well.
Absolutely. Two Zazais out there right now. Afsar of them is the one who's taking the attack. Nicely played into the gap towards cow corner. Look at him. In position very, very quickly. Reading the length very quickly. And this is the time I think the gears are going to change here for Afghanistan.
Oh yes, absolutely. Especially against Zawar. They would want to target him and try to get as many as they can. But that's good bowling. That's a good comeback from Zawar. Just that slower delivery, rolling his fingers over the ball, and he pitched it in the right area as well. So a good comeback from Zawar.
Yeah, absolutely. He is, so to say, the weaker link in this bowling unit for the UAE, and he needs to come good in this particular game. Hasn't been in supreme form in the recently concluded DP World T20. Was given quite a few opportunities, just couldn't do enough. Today is his chance.
Oh, that's close, a big appeal, and that's his given. So the chance that he got today, he is making the most of it. Zawar strikes just at the right time, and another wicket falls for Afghanistan.
Good work, Zawar Farid. Bowling it into the stumps just back of the length. It was a little bit high. I thought it landed outside the leg stump as well, but hit him right in front. And definitely, on the first look here, Shoaib, I thought that that was pitching outside the leg stump, but given out by the umpire, and it stays. Hazratullah Zazai, and his struggle at the crease has now ended with 27 on board. Afghanistan 63 for 3 after 10.3. Well, yeah, so a good wicket here for Zawar Farid after being hit for a boundary. Comes back and takes the wicket. Najibullah Zadran is the new batter, one of the most experienced batters in this Afghanistan lineup, and a great player to watch as well. 850s, average of 32 coming down at number 5. That's a very, very good record. Strike rate 142. On his day, he can change the course of a game single-handedly.
Oh yes, he's a match winner for Afghanistan. He's got that X factor. Does like to enjoy the T20 format. And he's come out in a situation where he will have to take and select his shots very carefully. Afghanistan cannot afford another wicket here. So they'll need Najibullah Zadran to come to the fore and play and perform to his reputation.
Absolutely. What a good time for the UAE though to pick up a wicket. A new batter. The wicket is not very easy to bat on. Outside the off stump, driven beautifully straight to Raja. Nicely bowled. But I think he's come out with a plan here, Najibullah Zadran. He's going to up the ante, given opportunities.
Well, he'll definitely play his shots. If it's in the slot, he will go for it. That's the wicket of Zazai there. Looked very, very plumb right in front of the stumps, and Zawar knew that he's got his man. Oh, that's a good ball. Immediately after the wicket, you can see a different form of Zawar Farid. And interesting here, Faizan, that they've got a slip in place for Najib. We were discussing about that in the previous game. Now, after that delivery, because it's the last ball of the over, he's got that slip out.
Yeah, giving him extra protection in the field here. And Najib can change gears very, very quickly. So I think a good call coming in from the captain.
Clipped off the pads. A successful over from Zawar Farid. He's got a wicket. After 11 overs, Afghanistan are 64 for 3.
Yeah, that's leg. Bowling right arm over.
Well, yeah, 11 overs gone, 64 for 3. That is the score right now. Afsar Zazai looking good, 17 of 19. Although nowhere even close to yesterday's knock. He was very smooth. He was very attacking yesterday. A good new player for Team Afghanistan. And the experienced Zadran is going to be on strike once again.
It's the hard length. Yes, no. Won't take that run. So it's important now that UAE, since they've got that wicket, they try and put some more pressure. Because anything around 140, 150, UAE will fancy their chances of chasing it down.
Absolutely. And if there's anywhere, due anywhere close to yesterday, then I believe it's going to be easier to bat in the second innings. And the wind has just gone down a little bit. So we might see a lot of dew in the second innings, and that usually helps the batters.
Slower this time and very watchful on that occasion. Zadran plays it towards the covers. Will get a single. It is not an easy position to be in, and to come out to bat when you are 65 for 3. You're not sure whether you want to play your shots or whether you want to take it slow and steady. And that is where the experience comes to the fore. They've got some really good batters out there for Afghan. The Afghani batters, Afghan batters in fact, 17 of 19 for Afsar, 2 of 5 for Najibullah.
Yeah, certainly a pickle to be in this situation. But I think knowing Najibullah Zadran, he's going to go for his shots. In comes Junaid once again.
Wanted to go for that ball, not in that position to play that shot. Also, because the pitch is a little different, the ball is not coming onto the bat very nicely. So very difficult to play those shots when the bounce is not even.
Absolutely spot on. Look at the ball there once again. The one that Shoaib was talking about, hitting him on the box. Afsar Zazai looks like Rashid Khan under the helmet. Not a beautiful looking shot from him. I hope he's all right.
That's a good ball. Smart bowling. This is very good bowling from Junaid. All his experience coming into this over, because he knows how important this over is in the context of the game. They need to build pressure, and overall in this over Junaid has done just that.
Absolutely. Look at that once again. Back of the hand, slower delivery. Bouncing before getting to the keeper, Vritti Arvind. Nicely bowled. Beautifully bowled. He has the confidence. He's coming into the series with a lot of wickets against his name in the DP World T20. Looking good, Junaid. 2.4 overs, 16 runs, picking up a wicket as well.
Slower delivery, fuller in length. They're looking for 2. No, they'll settle for one. So another good over in progress from Junaid.
What do you make of the captaincy by CP Rizwan here? Because he's rotated his bowlers well today. He has bowled only one over spin on a wicket that looks like a very conducive wicket for the faster bowlers. He brought in Zawar Fareed as well for exactly that reason, possibly. So what do you think of the captaincy today?
Well, I think he's done really well so far. Rizwan, no complaints whatsoever. Great leadership shown so far. And also the bowlers have done really well. So it seems like they have a plan in place when they've come out to bowl today. And it seems to be working.
Another slower bouncer this time around. Lets it go, Najib. That's the end of the over. 12 gone, 66 for 3, just 2 of it.
Quick change, boys, come on.
Right, so 12 overs gone, 66 for 3, just the right time to head along the sidelines where we've got Mikhail Vaswani with a special guest.
Right, Afghanistan in a precarious situation right now. If I have to look at the scorecard, 66 for 3 in the 12th. I have Ibrahim Zadran for conversation. Just about missed out with the bat today. Ibrahim, what's the status right now, you think? Where you think is a good total that you need to get to?
We are going to give them a good total on this kind of surface. So we are looking for to go 140, 150 because the wicket is a bit slow. Yeah, we will try to give them a good total.
Do you all bat with an idea, with a plan, saying that in the first 10 overs we need to get this kind of a target? What's the approach after winning the toss?
Yeah, exactly. We had a plan, so if we won the toss, we will go with that, momentum. We will go in the first 6 overs. We will get 40 to 50 runs. If we, just in case if we lose 1 wicket, no problem. But sometime plan doesn't come to our side, so that's why we will try to give them a good total.
Right, lovely catch taken, by the way. Let me tell you, this evening UAE has just brought the spark in the middle as well. Another wicket falls here. Ibrahim, just as we talk about, you guys going and getting something close to 140, 150, 4th wicket falls.
Yeah, it's part of the game, so we are positive. We have good batting lineup. We will try to give them a good total. Still, we are having 3 more batsmen. Rashid is still left. Karim Jannat is coming to the bat. So we will go with a positive mindset. Inshallah, we will give them a good total.
We did see a lot of depth in your batting. You did mention there's a very long and strong batting lineup off the side. Is that something that you're constructively working? Because last evening we saw the middle order as well, really coming out well. Karim Jannat and Afsar stitched a very good partnership.
Yeah, if you look at the last game, Karim and Afsar managed the innings very well. So I can say we have lots of batsmen. So we will try to give them a good total. So Rashid is still remaining in the line. So yeah, we will try.
And quickly coming back to your form today, missed out with the bat. How was the wicket? You had a plan in mind?
I will say the wicket is a bit slow to the last game. So it's part of the game. I try to be positive. It's part of the game. Sometimes you will perform, you will not perform. But inshallah, I will try to come back.
Right, Ibrahim, wonderful talking to you. Thanks for your perspective. All the very best for this game as well. We look forward to chatting sometime later.
Thank you.
Right, Ibrahim Zadran there. It's back to the commentators.
Thank you, Mikhail. Interesting. Ibrahim Zadran with his insights about the game thinks that they still have a lot of batting left, Faizan, and they do. They've got a danger man, their skipper, Rashid Khan, who's still yet to bat, and we know how dangerous he can be on his given day.
Absolutely. There's Umar Zai as well. So a lot of batting to come for them. But let's talk about Zawar Fareed for a moment. Because given so many opportunities in the DP World T20, couldn't do anything with the ball or with the bat, dropped a few catches as well. It was a very unfortunate period of play for him in the DP World T20. But today he's been on point right from the word go. And what a Yorker, the last delivery. Beautiful bowling from him. And again, good length, good line. Just on that off-stump mark. Back of the length delivery for Najib. Brilliant.
Right. So we are at this world-class venue, the iconic Zayed Cricket Stadium, and it's got a lot of facilities here. As you can see, it's a great venue to be playing cricket. But it's not just that we have cricket here. They've got a lot of other sports that are actually so good to see. So good to be here. 4 community cricket grounds, 28 international standard cricket nets. They've got a junior cricket academy as well. And along with cricket, they've got netball, basketball, astroturf pitches, football pitches, and they've also got paddle tennis, which I definitely want to take up as a sport in my free time. So everything that you could ask for, Faizan.
Well, padel is something that I would want to try as well. I don't even know the rules of the game though. In the meanwhile, a misfield ensures that that's an easy 2 coming in for Afghanistan. They are in need of runs here because after 13, it's 69 for 4. They're lagging behind the Afghan batters.
So overall, a good bowling performance from the UAE bowlers. Junaid bowling 3 overs, getting a wicket for Zahur Khan as well. But the pick of the bowlers so far is Zawar Farid. He's got 2 wickets to his name in his 3 overs and conceded just 16 runs. So overall, a good team effort and looks like a good bowling unit. This one, I don't think we will see another bowler being added into that list. These 5 bowlers will be completing their full quota of 4 overs. And it's Raja Akif will be bowling the 14th over of the game, Faizan.
What a good inclusion in the side Raja Akifullah has been. Very tight, bowling great line and lengths. This one though, outside the off-stump room, commentator's curse, gone for 4.
What a cracking shot that was. Fuller in length, outside off, and Kareem Jannat, the player of the match in the previous game, has started off on a positive note. He will get a lot of confidence with that shot. Look at that, leaning into that drive, placement absolutely perfect, and the ball crosses the ropes in no time. Magnificent shot.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. And they were in need of a boundary or 2. We haven't seen a lot of boundaries today. I think before this we've seen just 4 or 5 boundaries in this game. Poor delivery. Way down the leg side. We've seen Akif Raja do that earlier as well. And this time as well, just losing shape with his wrist a little bit. Wrist falling over. And it goes down the leg side. Extra run added to the total. Afghanistan in need of those runs here.
Oh yes, they wouldn't mind that. Raja Akif will have to come back strongly because they are in a good position right now, UAE. They wouldn't want to give away the game at this juncture. So it's important that he gets his line and length correct. Bowl to his plans. On the pads, appeal from the keeper, but that was definitely going down leg.
Let's take a moment and talk about Kareem Jannat's form as well. In Abu Dhabi T10, he was brilliant, and since then there's no stopping him. He played a great knock yesterday as well. Absolutely amazing to watch. Beautiful 50 in a low-scoring game, and coming in at a time when his team needed a lot of runs from him. 3 wickets down very quickly, and after that it was all Kareem Jannat and Afsar Zazai, and took the game away from the UAE in a matter of couple of good overs, big overs.
Right, you're absolutely spot on with that observation, Faizan. What an innings that was from Kareem Jannat. Under pressure, coming in. Not the easiest of wickets to bat on, but he played his shots. He backed himself. went with his instincts, and then once he was set, he was unstoppable. Some clean hitting, some great looking shots, some chances as well. But that's part and parcel of the game. But you can't take away anything from this man, Karim Jannat. 53 runs of 38 deliveries. And that was the game changer in that first T20. Oh, another innovative shot. That's gone high up in the air. 4 fielders converging, and none of them is going to get that. That is another chance. And you can see the roar of the crowd. You can hear it, and you can feel that how important this wicket was for UAE.
Innovative shot. That was great to watch actually. Good cricket from Karim Jannat. So a short ball, a slow ball, had to change his shot, still went with it. It was way outside the off stump. He was looking for a ram shot down the leg side. Just played it somehow, and 4 fielders, none of them could get to it. One of the moments in the game here.
Oh, absolutely. Junaid Siddiqui will be disappointed that he couldn't take that catch. Very difficult. Running backwards. The ball is always moving away from you. But you expect them to be taken if you want to keep that pressure in the game. Meanwhile, another slower delivery outside off. Straight to the fielder at covers.
In fact, pre-match, I was talking to Junaid and we were talking about how important fielding is. And he was also talking about how much work he's putting into his own fielding and how much UAE is focusing on being a great fielding unit as well. So a lot of work going into it, and hopefully we'll see a side in a couple of years that that can match the rest of the world when it comes to fielding.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot. There is a fielder there, Rohan Mustafa. He has taken a very good catch under pressure, and Raja Akif strikes just when they needed that wicket. It's another wicket down, and it's the danger man, Najibullah, who will be walking back.
In fact, Karim Jannat, the right-handed batter, hits it, slices it off the bat. Backward point comes into action. One of the better fielders in the UAE side. Good catch coming in from Rohan Mustafa on the second attempt. And I love the celebration from Akifullah. We'll talk about that celebration when we come back. It's 76 for 5 after 14. Karim Jannat, the hero of yesterday's game, departs at 7. Well, yeah, great wicket at a very good time as well. Afghanistan now under a lot of pressure here. 76 for 5, just 6 overs remaining from here on. Najibullah Zadran still there. Azmatullah Umarzai can play a good knock as well. Still some batting to come for them. Rashid Khan can hit those big ones. But on this wicket, I think it might just be difficult to hit the kind of shots that Rashid Khan likes to hit. As in comes Mohammad Junaid for his final over. Wonderful bowling from him as well. He gave away just 2 runs in the last over that he bowled. Overall, has picked up 1 wicket in his 3 overs and given away just 17 runs. So talking about that celebration from Akif Raja, we'll come to that in just a bit.
Six more overs to go. Junaid to complete his full quota of 4 overs. Starts off with a full delivery, smacked, no chance for Akif. Just a few yards away from him, but the timing on that shot was so great. It just crossed the ropes in a jiffy. Beautiful shot from Najibullah.
Yeah, vintage Najibullah Zadran. Beautifully played. Without moving his feet too much, just hits it through the line, up and over, and no chance for the sweeper cover to actually get to the ball. Akif Raja, the wicket taker there. Nicely done, Najibullah Zadran.
Great hand-eye coordination on that shot. No foot movement. You don't need that when you've got such great hand-eye coordination. This time on the stumps. That's a lot better. Direct hit. Oh dear. Risky run. But in the end, no damage done. A very good ball from Junaid Siddiqui this time. On the stumps, that's where he needs to be bowling a lot more.
Yeah, certainly. And he's a very good bowler in the death overs as well. There we go. It would have been a goner had it hit. Yeah, certainly. Not even in the frame, I reckon.
Slow ball. Played up and over the point fielder. This one's going to cross the ropes as well. So 2 boundaries in this over, and Najibullah is taking the attack to the opposition. He's not one of those who'll be bogged down. That's a very good shot for 4 runs.
Yeah, brilliant. Reading the slow delivery right from the hand. Very, very short. Outside the off stump. Poor ball though, but nicely played. And what that last shot did, the fielder was moved in a little more square towards the long off. And that is the reason why he hit it, opening the face of the bat over backward point. Well done, good job. Najibullah Zadran on 12 of 12. Things looking good for Afghanistan in this over. 8 of it in the first 3 deliveries.
Oh, that's been sprayed down the leg side, so the pressure definitely on Junaid. That's another extra, so 9 runs already in the 3 deliveries that he's bowled so far.
We saw one over yesterday that changed the course of the game. It came from Rohan Mustafa when UAE was bowling in the second innings. Can this be that over that can change the course of the game here today, when Afghanistan is batting right now on 85 for 5? They need to get to somewhere around 145 to 150. They have the bowling to actually make the difference and get the game their way.
No room whatsoever. So that seems to be the plan from Mohammad Junaid, especially against Najibullah. First few deliveries, the ones that were outside off, were played up and over. And that is why now Junaid trying to bowl it as close to the stumps as possible.
But he should also remember that Najibullah Zadran is a very difficult batsman to bowl to. He can pick you up on the leg side. He's a very good player on the leg side. He will hit you towards mid-wicket, cow corner, square leg and fine leg as well.
Again, it was on the leg stump, but making room for himself. Najibullah decides to play it towards the deep third. Gets a single and gets to the non-striking end. So Azmadullah now will be facing his first ball. The all-rounder in the Afghan playing 11.
10 runs off the over. Good over coming in for Afghanistan. They were in need of such an over. It's 86 for 5 after 14.5 here. Junaid bowling his last over. He's bowled well though. Even after giving away 10 in this over, he's given away just 27 in his 3.5 and has picked up a wicket as well.
Can he get another wicket? Or is it Azmatullah who'll try to go for some runs? Oh, that's a good delivery. Very, very good delivery to end the over and his spell in this game. Junaid, 27 runs in his 4 overs. 15 overs gone. It's 86 for 5.
Quick change, guys, come on. Exactly. Bowling right arm around.
Well, it's an interesting passage of play here. UAE are all over Afghanistan. Ahmed Rada joins me here in the comms box. Ahmed, a totally different team to what we saw 2 days ago.
I think they've been brilliant with the ball. Really good with their outfield catching as well. And in the meanwhile, Rohan Mustafa leaks a boundary. Najibullah Zadran is getting a go here.
Yes, Najibullah Zadran looking very dangerous. We all know his capabilities, especially in this part of the game. He does come in the last 5 or 6 overs and try and really swing the willow. And he can prove dangerous. I think UAE need to be very careful here, not to let Afghanistan off the hook. A welcome dot ball for UAE, but you were mentioning how different UAE have been today compared to 2 days ago?
It's another good dot ball by Rohan Mustafa. One of his weapons, one of his go-to balls when he is under pressure. They have looked a different outfit today. That's another good Yorker.
Yes, they have, and very good to see Rohan Mustafa getting a proper spell of bowling today. He only got introduced for 1 over 2 days ago, and today he probably, in my view, is going to end up bowling his full 4.
Absolutely. Introduced in the 8th over today, whereas we didn't see him into the attack till the 11th over in the first T20. I think CP Rizwan did really well by introducing him early. You have to use his experience, have to use his skill set.
Well, yep, you're 100% there. I think the batsman will pick up 2 of the last ball of the over. As that concludes 16 overs gone, Afghanistan are 92 for 5. Well, that's a story so far with the ball. Very, very impressive. United Arab Emirates. Zahoor Khan and Rohan Mustafa, for me, the 2 of the pick of the bowlers. And very well supported by the rest of the guys. Looks like they've really gone away and had a long chat about the game. And looks like they've bounced back very well so far as we head into the 17th over of the second T20 international between these 2 teams. Banged in. Probably just pick up the single here.
Zahoor Khan, who closes out the innings so many times for UAE and does it very well. Also was really impressive in the recently concluded DP ILT20, playing for My Emirates. That's one of his great skill set, bowling those, nailing those Yorkers. I think that was a good ploy to bowl a right channel to the new batter, and he might go into the wicket slower ones to Najib, or try to bowl hole and get him off strike.
Yeah, I was going to say that CP Rizwan has really been on it as a captain today. He's got the bowling changes right, and more importantly, getting the guys at the right end. Rohan Mustafa bowling the ball from the far end. Those viewers watching on TV, that means when the bowler's been bowling towards the pavilion end, that's the correct end. Why? Is because there's a breeze blowing, which is very strong, Emma. As you know, being a bowler yourself, and you've bowled plenty of overs out here, that as a spinner you want to bowl the ball so that the batsman is having to hit into the wind. So I just think CP Rizwan from 2 days ago has really been very, very smart and on the money as far as his captaincy is concerned. Well, a welcome boundary for the Afghanistan batsman. Looks like it's all or nothing for the Afghanistan batters here. I think they're going to throw caution into the wind. And, well, they've picked up 4 runs, 4 welcome runs, Emmett.
Yeah, just going wide and fuller. I think to the new batter, Zahoor Khan will be better off just bowling that length, just short of length. Especially with mid-off up, you don't want to be bowling too full to the batter. And yes, spot on. I think Rizwan CP has been really good with his changes today.
Slow ball bouncer. It's going to get a dot ball. I think what has been really impressive with the bowlers is their change-ups. They have bowlers use a slow ball bouncer to very good effect. And they've also been very good with the new ball. I think in the power play, especially the likes of Zahoor Khan, I think the guys have bowled really, really well, and I've been very impressed with them.
Yeah, the fast bowlers have been really good today. Zahoor Khan, Junaid, Akif finish his spell with the wicket. Zawar into the wickets already. We haven't seen the likes of Ayan Khan today. We haven't seen Basil Hamid, only using the 5 bowlers. And now the job of closing out the innings.
Banged in this time, up and over point. But ball will plug, they'll only pick up the 2.